Hey YouTube, I built this. Hey guys, Ian from Internet Studios, and today we're doing a PC build video. Now the PC is pre-assembled, so we're not actually going to be building it, but I'm going to be telling you about the parts, and there will later be a benchmark video along with just showing how awesome it looks with all the parts I put into it. This is a low-end gaming PC, so you're not going to be able to run BioShock Infinite and Grand Theft Auto. And if you can, I haven't tried because I don't own those games, but if you could and if you tried, it probably would have super low frame rates. I don't have a GPU in it, and that's why. If you put a GPU in it, even probably a low-end one, because of the processor, I put an APU in it. So because of the compatibility, you might be able to, but a little bit faster, but where it is now, you probably couldn't at a very good speed. So this is the Corsair Air 240. It's a sexy case. It's beautiful. It's got an awesome viewing panel for the motherboard and the GPU and everything, just seeing everything. It's a two-chamber design, which means it's divided by a wall where you're going to end up mounting the motherboard. And the smaller chamber is for the power supply, the hard drive bay, and the SSD bay. And they have little rubber grommets that connect the two walls so you can go through them and click to the CPU. And at the end of the video, you have to finish the video. You're not allowed to do this now. Go check out Linus Tech Tips. He does an awesome review of the case. I think he really likes it, except for a few things. I don't know. I watched the video. It was really nice. That's what actually made me decide to buy this. So go check that out. Like I said, it's a lower end gaming PC. So I didn't buy the GPU, which is the only reason it really makes it lower end. Everything else in there, it's totally, if you popped in a GPU, this thing would be high end. Well, mid-range. I wouldn't say high end. But this is a small form factor PC, so I ended up buying a small form factor motherboard. This is the Asus A68HM-K. Now this is a small form factor motherboard. It has 170% boosted USB 3.0. It's got the 3 audio connectors, red, green, and blue. It's got a PCI Express 3.0/2.0 slot. It uses APU. It uses the AMD FM2/2 Plus chipset, which I ended up using AMD because it's cheaper than Intel, and they have a wide variety of different processors. So you could even use the parts I have here and make it just a desktop computer where you're not going to be doing gaming and everything on it. So I use this motherboard. It's really nice. It's proven quality. It's just a nice motherboard. It was cheap. It wasn't cheap like manufacturer wise. I mean, Asus does a really good job. It's a nice motherboard. It was like, I think 40 bucks if I remember correctly. It's really nice. Now about the fans I was talking about earlier, the 3 120mm fans, which actually I don't think I talked about, but 120mm stock fans is this Corsair fan. There's nothing wrong with them, but I really wanted red LED fans, so I went with the Cooler Master Sickle Flow 120mm fans. Really nice fan. It's got 2000 RPM. It's red LED. Red's my favorite color, so I really wanted that in there. And one thing I gotta say though is the motherboard and the fans, the 3-pin connector that comes standard on most fans nowadays is not compatible with the motherboard. I cannot connect these straight to the motherboard. So luckily, Cooler Master included an adapter in their fans, so I actually was able to figure out, I never even knew about this. It's a little adapter that turns the 3-pin into you can hook it up straight to the power supply. Like there's a connector on the power supply that's used for older fan styles, and there's an adapter that they included in both of the boxes. I ended up buying 2 because you can fit 2 up front, and I'm gonna have 2 on top. And I just ended up having an extra fan because I had 3 in there and it can only fit 4. Unless I wanted to pop this one over here, and that would end up giving me cooling to my wires, which I didn't need. So I have the fans. I upgraded the fans, which you can cut back on. You don't need that. I just did it because I wanted to. So that probably would cut like, I don't know, 20-40 bucks off your build overall. So the price point we're looking at right now is about $350 with everything right here. And that's everything. That's not just what I've already listed. So I also used the desktop WD, not WD-40, that's a lubricant, it wouldn't work. WD blue hard drive. It's mechanical. I don't have as much money as some of you guys out there, so if you do, I would recommend buying a small SSD to use as the boot drive. It'll be quicker, it'll allow you to boot up faster, you won't have to wait as long. This is mechanical, it was cheap, it was like, I think it was 60 bucks, it's 1 terabyte. It's really nice. The black version though, apparently it's designed for gaming. Now people, when they say that, normally means maybe a little bit faster and it runs quiet or something like that, but honestly they're just trying to get some extra money out of you. So I just bought the blue, it's like the bottom line, it's every day. The power supply, which is the thing about this case. Because of the small form factor, I think I heard once you get above, I have a 430 watt and it fits perfectly, so I think if you get above that, there might be a problem with space issues because the hard drive bay is right above where you put the power supply. So there is a solution for that. If you guys are using an SSD, if you guys are hardcore SSD people, then you can move the hard drive bay, get rid of it, you can remove it, and just leave the power supply in there if you have a bigger one. But the motherboard that I have doesn't need any more than the 430 watt that I bought. It's an EVGA. It's really nice. It was pretty cheap. It wasn't expensive. None of the parts really were expensive. And saving the best for last, well, almost last, is the processor. Now I went AMD, as I said before, because it is a little bit cheaper and there's a wide variety of different processors you can use. Intel, really, you have like 3 different options, and you have different speeds and cores and everything, but this is just a dual core, simple. I would say if you have a little extra money, I'd buy a quad core. It's a dual core A6 6400K. It's a stock base 3.9 gigahertz processor, but when you max turbo it, you can get up to 4.1. I think this one is max turboed. This honestly was, I think, one of the cheapest items for this whole PC. Now I didn't buy, because you're gaming on this, and you can't overclock an APU, which that is. So really, stock cooler should be good. But the cooler, I'm using the stock cooler because that also cuts down a lot. I was thinking about using an air cooler or liquid cooler, and a liquid cooler would be cool, but then I wouldn't really have, I'd have to buy some 60mm fans to put in the back of it for exhaust. I would want to do that. I don't think you'd have to, but I would want to, because the radiator would take up the top. So I looked at air cooling options, and I decided since I'm doing a base PC, you're not going to be getting too hot. I just left it the way it is. So it's stock cooled. It runs. I did a test run. It runs really well. It looks awesome. I have not done a benchmark yet. I will be doing a benchmark video very, very soon. But I also, because this is a beginning gaming computer, I figured I might as well chuck in a mouse and keyboard set. And some people have, they're against this kind of stuff. If you have the extra money, go ahead and get Razer, the Death Adder, and then their keyboard, which might be the Death Adder. I have this upside down. I went with the Red Dragon Lite. It's a keyboard mouse set, like I said before, and it looks like the mouse is the Centrophorus, and the Vadra is the keyboard. I don't know what that is. All I know is the mouse is 2000 DPI. It's really nice. It has 6 buttons. You can change the weight in it. You can like take out weights, the back. They both have these awesome braided cables, and they are gold-plated USB connectors. It connects with USB 2.0, which I will be plugging into the back of this case. The keyboard, it says it has 12 multimedia keys. The keys can exchange. The WSD and the arrow keys both can be changed either way. You can use them. That's a weird thing. It's got variable speed, which is really nice. The mouse has 2000 DPI is I think the max, but it's got an adjuster button right behind the scroll wheel, and you click it and there's a light behind it that gets brighter, and the brighter it is, the more DPI you have, and it's got 3 different settings. It's really nice for playing games, and you can adjust on the fly. It's awesome. I think this whole kit costs maybe 20, I think actually it was like 30 bucks. Really nice. It's good for beginning gaming. It lights up. It's pretty. Red's my favorite color, so I really liked it. Now, to finish the video, I went, today was my birthday, and that's why I have half this stuff. Well, a couple things. And I ended up seeing this awesome speaker. My little brother pointed it out to me. We were in Target. It's an Altec Lansing mini H2O speaker. This thing is crazy loud. Like, it is amazing. For this little tiny package, it's a waterproof up to IP67 and sandproof. It says it's everything proof. It floats in water. It's got a 6-hour battery life. It's got a hands-free speakerphone. It's super small. Like, this is a iPod 4 for comparison. iPod 4th generation. It's a little bit thicker, but it's probably like half an inch shorter. It's super light. It has an aux cord connector. It charges via micro USB, like an Android charger. I think that's what I charge it with now. It's really nice. It's like really cheap for the price. I compared it to, at the store it had like the demo and everything, and I compared it to 4 or 5 other speakers that were bigger and more expensive, and this thing outshined them the whole way. It's got amazing sound. It's super freaking loud. Like, I'm about to show you guys a representation, and that doesn't even recommend. It's like 3 notches on my phone. The sound is amazing. It's super cheap. It's replacing the one I broke last couple weeks ago. It's awesome. Altec Lansing Mini H2O.